everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing coasters, and my intention here is to show you the difference between the same color palette with pristine pillow paint, the white, my normal Glidden 60101N, and then using the same colors making a creation coasters with my recycled strained scraps. And honestly, I've never done a side-by-side before. So, like with the same color. So I've created coasters with recycled paint, but I've never pitted them against a side-by-side comparison to see, does this make a difference in the way it dries and the way it finally resins? Let's find out. So my idea here is probably do a side-by-side video like I've done before, where I have dueling coasters or dueling yo-yos. And let's get started. So this paint here is my recycled strain pillow paint. And I have a video on this. If I can find it, I'll link it above. Shows you how I do my straining. It's actually quite easy. Usually this paint will end up a little thicker and with a few more bubbles, as you can see. And this is what I use on my ornaments when I'm doing my Christmas ornaments, and this goes on the ornament itself because this paint is thicker and it holds up really well through on the ornaments at least. It holds up from all of the gravity that's pulling the paint in every direction. I should say pulling the paint down. So yeah, you can see the air bubbles. I'll try to zoom in to show you guys. A way to remedy that is just an easy banging down the coaster. And honestly, this is my fourth one. The first three, I didn't have very many bubbles. I mean, I did have to take out a couple gray spots, but not a big deal. Hi everyone, I'm popping on here real quick just to explain I am going to do the split screen, and you're going to be watching this video with the recycled pillow from the left side of your screen, and the right side is going to be done with the regular 6011N white pillow. And we'll see what these two look like at the end and what the differences are. All right, back to the video. So let's get started. So this is my first color, which is iridescent pearl. Gonna lay this down. Yeah, and this is so pretty. And this is a color palette I've used before, and it is a beautiful color palette. It works. Every time it works. This is my quinacridone Nickelazzo Gold by Golden and TLP Zeus by oh, there's a name. TLP Zeus from the Fluidart company. Now, if you're interested in seeing how to get the quinacridone Nickelazzo Gold, since Golden's Fluidart paint has discontinued making it, if you check out my description in there, I've listed the two paints that Golden states will get a facsimile of this particular color that is gorgeous. This goes with just about every color palette. I mean, seriously. Next color is my typical gold combo, iridescent gold by Golden and 24 karat gold by DecoArt. All of these paints are mixed with my regular pouring medium, which is my Valspar 833124. I will inset pictures of it above. And MinWax semi-gloss paint at a ratio of about 3 parts Valspar to 1 part paint. And then I take my pouring medium and I mix it with my colors at about 3 parts pouring medium or so to 1 part paint. It all depends on the consistency. Iridescent bronze by Golden. This is a good consistency right here, where once you pour it up the stick, it leaves about a 2 to 3 second trace. Now the bronze, if you're looking for cells, this is a cell maker. It makes it, or should I say, it works great with the cell activator to create cells. Or maybe it's something about this paint, I don't know, but it's a great reactor for cells. I want to overdo your bronze like I did on my last creation. that I was gonna videoing for you guys, but I probably used this one because I went really heavy-handed on the bronze. And the other one, and it just goes to show you that the way you lay your colors down makes a big difference in what you get out, which makes sense. Carbon Black by Glidden and Amsterdam Lamp Black. I thought the lamp black was darker, and it's not. Prove me a liar. The carbon black is much blacker than the lamp black. Cell activator, I'll link my video above. It's 141. I show you how I make my American Floetrol cell activator. It's in grams, so it's very precise and specific. So if you're like precision, especially if you're newbie, it's a really good video to learn how to make that cell activator. All right, that's the titanium white and the oxide black. Here we go. So I'm going to talk through the blowout like I normally do, and I'm sorry, still my head's in the way, even with the bandana on, but I'm blowing straight down into that cell activator, and so many times people have trouble finding that blow. And I have a really good video, 419. It's called The Art of the Blow. It shows you how to find your blow in the first place and how speed and the angle of your blow help impact the composition. Now let me say, oftentimes people, when they're first learning how to blow, they think they're blowing from their eyes, because often when they blow, they're blowing too low on their creation. So you've got to imagine that your blow in your mouth is farther down than your eyes, and you have to adjust for that when you're trying to find where the air is coming from your mouth. It is a real problem. There's like a parallax associated with seeing and knowing where your blow is. And here all I'm doing is pulling the pillow to the edges and the corners in preparation for the spin out. I usually blow in 5 directions, but I think that time I might have gone 7. I have a really good, I probably already said it. Yeah, this came out weird over here. But don't prejudge your creations. I do once in a great while, but most times when I don't know how things are going to go, how they're going to turn out, I say, you know what, let's just see what happens. And lo and behold, you get to the end and you're like, oh my God, I'm glad I did not pour over that. Or I'm glad I did not scrape that. Because the way it stretches out is very important. Yeah, there's color coming back here. It's weird how that blew out very strange. They're all different. I'm telling you guys, you know, you see my creations, you see what my results are. I don't show you everything because not everything is really good, but then there's a lot of good things I don't show you either because I don't have the ability to make so many videos. It's just a lot of work. But there are some creations that are just like, oh my God, what was that? Here I'm just getting the paint fully to the edges, the corners, which is always the last to come off. Because if you just look at the coaster, it's a lot shorter distance going there versus going here. Perfect. Let's illustrate that. So, I don't want to make a mess here. So this is that's about where my fingertip is. So I go here and look where my fingertip is. It's another 1/2 inch. Yeah. It takes longer to travel to the corners. It just makes sense. That's why I always kind of, when I lay my pillow paint down, I kind of lay it down in a square to start with. Because I'm already kind of cheating it toward the corners when I put the pillow down. You don't want to overspin your creations. And you can tell if you've overspun because what will happen is the cells, especially near the sides, will start to get elongated. They'll kind of get sloppy, like they're clinging to the side. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's in a black hole being pulled down the side, and it's just trying for dear life to hold on to the top. I don't know if I explained that. Weird, I have nothing but a blank spot right there. That's that gray. And that gray almost disguises itself as a silver, especially with this pearl paint. But there shouldn't be any pillow paint showing through. Oh, this one's really pretty. This is gorgeous right here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And for me, I like creations where I prefer them where it's not all just cells everywhere. I mean, over here I've got colors blending together. I've got this almost looks like stained glass over here. I've got this lacing that just feathers out so pretty. And of course I've got the cells. That's what I like. I prefer something that is a compilation of a variety of different aspects of the bloom technique. You know, some people are looking only for the cells, and that's not what I look for. I look for all the goodness that can come out with some variation from it itself. And this is just a 4 1/4 inch tile I got from Home Depot. Look at the variation you can get on that. So now I'm just going to clean up the sides. You always want to clean up your sides, or not your sides in this case. You want to clean up the bottom by pulling out and down. And I'll clean up the rest of this after I get off the camera. But you want to pull out and down. If you do this, if you just go like this, everything will look like a comb over. And I'm not going to do it to show you because I don't want to ruin this. If you want to see what it looks like yourself, have at it. I'm telling you, if you just go scooping across, it'll look like a comb over. And I don't like that look. Now, maybe you like that look, but it's not for me. All right, everybody, here we go. Got my corners cleaned up so I can pick it up without much mess. This is where we are. With recycled paint. All right, I'll be back for the final results. Probably wait a week to resin this, and then we'll be done. Okay. So everyone, that's a wrap, and here are the 4 with the recycled pillows on the left and the white pillows on the right. And as we go through here, there is a slight difference in the recycled being a little bit darker, a little bit grayer than the right side, but pretty close nonetheless. And for this color palette, I don't really see it being a big deal. And here, of course, they are fully resined and finished. Now, on the left side, I have the white pillow, and the right side is the recycled. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. Just even a hello and a thumbs up is great. And if you can hype the video, that's even more awesome. And I hope if you're new here, you please subscribe, join my channel. You get all my latest art tutorials. I have a whole bunch of playlists you can check out. Over 40 different playlists with all kinds of functional art, from coasters, clocks, jars, lazy Susans, wood boards, trinket trays, yo-yos, even ornaments, which I'll be working on again very soon. And don't miss my description where I have links to the products I use and links to some of the more educational, useful tutorials you might find. And if you're in need of resin, I have a 10% discount code in the description. You get 10% off, and KS Resin gives me credit toward 5% toward my future purchases, so everybody wins. And here I'm showing the backs, and I do have a video 487, I'll link it above, that shows you how I stamp and cork all my creations, so you might find that useful as well. So with all that said, that's all I have for now, everybody, and take care. Till next time.